Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host, The Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and Text line. You can call in and text in at 833-212-1017. You can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can give us a like, you can give us a share, you can give us a subscribe so you do not miss any of your favorite award-winning 1017 The Truth shows. We are on our road to 6,000. Yes, 6,000 subscribers. So make sure y'all give us a share and a subscribe. And also give us a thumbs up here. And we can chat inside the YouTubes. Shout out to my producer, Rhea Riley, holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Happy Friday.
And shout out to you, Truth Nation. Now, before we get into it, this is one of my favorite Packer get-ups to wear because I think it looks cool. It looks pretty hip, don't it? Pretty hip and cool. My baseball jersey.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I got the number on the back, 19, from when the Packers were founded. This is always, anytime I wear this one, everybody's like, oh, that's nice.
Did your girl say she liked it?
Oh, she loved this one.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, they love it. She my girl, but I'm telling you, I love this one here. Everybody love it. But go Pack Go as the Packers head down to Chicago and take on the Bears in the wild card round coming up here tomorrow, 7:30. Very excited. Go Pack Go. You feel good, Rhea, about it?
I couldn't care less.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I might have it on the background, but
So you don't even care if the Packers win?
Absolutely not.
What? You don't just support? Being like, oh yeah, I want my team. I'm from Wisconsin, so I want my
I learned the hard way. I was a different fan in sports growing up for NFL, so now I just don't like the NFL in general.
Oh, who were you a fan of?
Some people.
What do you mean some people?
Teams, some teams.
Why? Why did you choose those teams?
Family. So I was like, oh, they like this team. I like that team too.
Why don't you share the team? Like it's not.
I just don't feel like it.
It's not illegal to cheer for.
I don't feel like doing it.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, regardless of who you cheer for, I mean, that's the choice. Allegiance. If I move from the state of Wisconsin, trust me, I'm still gonna be a Packer backer. My kids be Packers fans, so I mean.
I'm glad for you.
Yeah, ain't nothing changed for me. But 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talking text line. You can call us, text us, and chime in on today's conversation. The Truth Nation, listen, I'm typically not a fan of carryover shows. I'm not a fan of a person that I talk about one thing one day, and then I continue to talk about it the next day. That's not something I rarely do it here. But I think it's so important that we get information out to the community about what happened, because especially with what our Mayor Cavalier Johnson recently said. And Mayor Cavalier Johnson had comments yesterday saying that Milwaukee needs to be prepared for the possible presence of ICE. And when the mayor of Milwaukee says that ICE could one day be in our city and that we need to prepare for that, then that is something that we need to take note of. And the mayor's not trying to cause fear. He's not trying to, make people all feel nervous or have people concerned. He's just simply being honest. Mayor Cavalier Johnson is being honest, and he's doing his job. His job as mayor is to make sure that the people that he leads are prepared for what is to come. That is good leadership. That is being proactive versus reactive. A lot of times we hit the mayor for being too reactive to things, but this is a proactive approach of letting people know that what we are seeing here in Minneapolis is something that one day we can see, and not the shooting, but the presence of ICE and protests and these things that could happen in the city of Milwaukee, and we need to ensure that we have a plan for that. And so, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. Today I will continue on with the conversation, but I'm going to shift the focus to some other things that I think are so important that we need to look into, because this is a moment in American history. This is a moment in American history where the people in power have assaulted and attacked the American civilians. That is what is happening. That is what's going on. We've talked about numerous stories of not illegal immigrants being assaulted or harassed or being traumatized. We have talked about American citizens. It shouldn't matter because we're all human beings, but I feel like it resonates better when people can't sit there and put up the comeback of saying, well, they're here illegally. Well, what about the folks who are here legally? What about the folks who came to this country and became naturalized citizens and did all the right things? Why are they being persecuted? Why are they being harassed? And one thing that we know is that ICE has already been here in Milwaukee in the Hannah Duggan, Judge Duggan. Damn it, it's Dugan. Damn it. I got it written down here, too. D-U-G-G-A-N. Where did Dugan come from? How does the sound D-U come out to do? I thought that was D-O.
English language is hard, so.
I see. Hell, I can't master it. I'm 35 years old.
We'll spell it out phonetically the next time.
D-U-G-G-A-N. Or is it D-U-G-A-N?
D-U-G-A-N.
Duh.
Phonetically, I would say like D-O-O.
Why? The sound D-U makes do?
Well, if you're trying to spell it out phonetically to help you say it out loud, yes.
But I thought, no, that's what I'm saying. I tried to.
You just wrote the name down again.
No, I said D-U-G-G-A-N because I know to say Duggan.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's crazy. I was like, that's not Dugan, it's Duggan. Dang it. Anyways, we have to be prepared because one day there will be an increase. Because, listen, we already have protests and demonstrations happening right now at the ICE facility, temporary ICE facility that they have on Knapp Street, the headquarters here in downtown Milwaukee. There's already some people who are out there protesting, as they have every right to do. But Truth Nation, ICE killed an unarmed American citizen 2 days ago. And based off more video that has come out, there are more questions than answers. And a lot of people are outraged, and I completely believe that people are justified to have this level of outrage. I believe the incident was bound to happen and will continue to happen. When you create a reckless plan, you get reckless results. And that is exactly what we saw 2 days ago was recklessness. But 833-212-1017, before I continue on, because I've done a lot of talking. I did a whole 60 minutes of talking yesterday. And I'm going to continue to talk today because that's my job. But I want to provide more information because, again, like I said yesterday, I am not a prosecutor. I am not a defense attorney. I am not an investigator. I don't have any of those titles. I'm just a civilian. But there was an excellent piece that was done by the New York Times that I definitely want us to be able to hear that will break down exactly what happened 2 days ago in Minneapolis. But before we do, Truth Nation, do know the phone lines are always open. You can call in and text in at 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line, 833-212-1017. Jules in Milwaukee, we have comments on ICE shooting. And Jules, make sure you turn on your radios. It sounds like you already did. Thank you so much. You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your comments about ICE?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my call. Yesterday, I listened, good afternoon. Yesterday, I listened to a poll question Homer posed to Truth Nation asking whether the Minnesota incident was excessive force. And I was pretty stunned to realize about 25% of that audience answered no, meaning they were okay with it. And I just let that sink in for a second. If a quarter of the Truth listeners, primarily black folks, I presume, are okay with this, administration fanning out across the nation, terrorizing people, then what percentage of white America is okay with what we're seeing? Man, I was on the treadmill at the gym yesterday at the Y. I'm a people watcher, so CNN is on the TV screen showing this tragedy, and I'm looking at a white lady who's looking at the screen as she rode her exercise bike, and I'm wondering to myself, this little old lady, probably someone's grandmother, probably folks who know her would tell you she's a sweet, kind person. She's looking at this chaos and terror on the screen being visited upon human beings in our own land, and I'm wondering, is she okay with it? Did she vote for this? Is she like that old lady at the RNC in Milwaukee last summer who was holding up the sign that read "Mass Deportation Now"? My point is this, Kyle. This administration is doing this. They're getting away with it because it has enablers, people who cheer it on or shrug it off and don't care because violence is normalized in American society. You got congressional Republicans, of course, they're enabling this, but you also have people like, Stephen A. Smith saying it's justified. I mean, these people apparently unaware, uninterested that witnesses at the incident reported that agents on the scene were shouting conflicting commands, some yelling at her to go, some trying to snatch her out of her car.
Yes,
What's most frightening about this moment, Kyle, in American history is that we find ourselves how many citizens are okay with this. But I got a message for that 25% of Truth Nation who think that our government is doing what they're doing on American streets is okay. You clearly haven't been paying attention. You weren't paying attention when Donald Trump addressed a meeting of the military, and he said he'd like to see the military use American cities, our roughest cities, quote unquote, as he said, as training grounds. People better wake up. Do you you think this president might agree that, let's say, Milwaukee qualifies as a rough city, run by a Democratic governor and a black Democrat mayor? If they letting ICE agents get away with shooting white ladies in the face, what do you think they'll let soldiers do to people who look like me and you? Some of that 20 might think it wouldn't be a bad idea to unleash the U.S. military in some Milwaukee neighborhoods, but you better wake up, because they said 60 to 7% of the people being arrested and taken into custody in this immigration crackdown have no criminal record whatsoever. Remember, they said they'd be going after the criminal. Most of the folks they're terrorizing are not criminals. So my message to that 25%, when and if the military is in Milwaukee streets, quote unquote, training, it might be you or somebody you know and love on the receiving end of this brutality, and we'll see if you agree with it then.
Thank you, Jules. I appreciate it. I appreciate the thoughts and your comments on that. And I hope I'm right there with you. Again, regardless of how you feel about it, we should all just think that somebody being killed like that, it seemed very unnecessary. And speaking of it being unnecessary, I want to have us watch this video of an analysis from the New York Times, which breaks down what took place so you can draw your own conclusions. This is the story of the week, Truth Nation. This is something that has sent this country, that has already been divisive, but even into a bigger spiral to start 2026. Damn. Already there's controversy. It's crazy to me. But with it being an election year, I think it's so important for us to understand that this could be a moment in 2026 that will resonate when it comes to next November. And so it is a 3-minute and 40-some second video, but it breaks down what happened, and it gives an analysis about what happened. Now, again, you can draw your own conclusions, but this is the New York Times breaking down what occurred 2 days ago, and it doesn't say who is at fault. It just provides the facts. And that's all I need. It's just facts. It's not bias. It is just facts. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube to watch and listen to an analysis broken down by the New York Times. You don't need to see it in order to feel it, because you will also be able to hear it. They do a phenomenal job explaining what happened. So go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you can hear and watch the New York Times breakdown. You can also download the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, where you have the opportunity as well to listen to this. But this is a New York Times breakdown analysis of what occurred when Renee Good was approached by ICE agents and the tragic shooting that led to her death. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
On Wednesday, in Minneapolis, a federal agent fatally shot a motorist, 37-year-old Renee Good. Trump administration officials said these were, quote, defensive shots, fired because the officer was being run over.
And a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over.
But our analysis of bystander footage, filmed from different angles, appears to show the agent was not in the path of the victim's SUV when he fired 3 shots at close range. Here's how events unfolded. Moments before the shooting, the victim's maroon SUV is stopped in the middle of the street. Multiple unmarked federal vehicles are idling nearby. Secretary Noem alleged the motorist, quote, was blocking the officers in. Bystanders are blowing whistles and yelling at federal agents.
Go home to Texas!
Then, federal vehicles start moving toward the maroon SUV, with sirens and lights blaring. A federal agent films the scene on his phone, then stops and waves for others to go ahead. 2 agents exit this silver pickup and walk toward the vehicle. Moments later, shots are fired. Let's look at the scene again more closely. This is the agent who shoots the driver. He walks around the car filming and disappears from view. Other agents pull up and order the driver to exit her vehicle. One of them grabs at the door handle and reaches inside. The SUV reverses, then turns right, apparently attempting to leave. Same time, the agent filming crosses toward the left of the vehicle and grabs his gun. He opens fire on the motorist and continues shooting as she drives past. The moment the agent fires, he is standing here, to the left of the SUV, and the wheels are pointing to the right, away from the agent. This appears to conflict with allegations that the SUV was ramming or about to ram the officer. President Trump and others said the federal agent was hit by the SUV, often pointing to another video filmed from a true that at this moment in this grainy low-resolution footage, it does look like the agent is being struck by the SUV. But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. In fact, his feet are positioned away from the SUV. The SUV crashes into a white car parked down the road. A bystander runs toward the collision. The federal agents on scene do not care.
And listen, Truth Nation, I can draw my own conclusion, you can draw yours, but my biggest thought from all this is that this is a reminder that this is what America was built on. It was built on violence, pure violence. Violence from civilians and violence from the police. 833-212-1017. When we come back, I'm going to break down why the people have now become the biggest enemy of the state. And I say that not to conflate or not to just be this guy that's trying to drum up some issues, but I'm just telling you right now that what we are seeing is that we, the people, have become the biggest enemy of the state. And I will share data and facts to let you know that police continue to kill us because there is a love affair with guns and a love affair of power in this country. And I will share the stats next.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 1017 The Truth.
You know who's responsible for those kids' safety? Everybody at Waterford High School. The police, the law, decency, morality is responsible for those kids' safety. Had the Rufus King High School students been physically attacked, that's not the fault of the coach. That's blaming the victim. Come on, you know better than that. It would be the fault of the attacker.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Milwaukee Black Talk.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
New year, new mattress. Start 2026 feeling rested and make an impact while you do it at Steinhofels all January. Stop by Steinhofels and test rest any mattress. For every test rest, they'll donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin, a nonprofit creating dream bedrooms for children with cancer. And just for trying a mattress, you'll get a $20 lunch gift card, a better night's sleep, and a chance to help make a child's dream bedroom come true. The January test rest event is only at Steinhofels. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You can call in, text in at 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talking text line. You can also give us a like, give us a share on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And you can watch the stream us live on YouTube. What you heard before the break was a breakdown from the New York Times of what happened. And again, what the New York Times video said is that when you piece the angles together, it looks like the officer was able to avoid being hit by the car, and he still had his gun drawn ready to shoot. Again, they are not the judge or the jury. They have no say in what the conclusions are going to be. But we as American citizens have every right to get all the information to draw conclusions. Do understand that we have a government that is untrustworthy and a government that continues to kill Americans, and they tell us what we see on film did not occur. Far too often they tell us what we see did not occur. That is the problem that we have, so you cannot trust the government. And you're talking about the same government that during this investigation, they decided that they were going to do the investigation and there were going to be nothing locally done for the investigation. You cannot trust this government. But one thing that I want to explain to y'all, and I alluded to on the other side, is that we, the people, have become the biggest enemy of the state. When you see state officials going around and killing Americans, that's how you know you are the enemy of the state. And this country has a love affair with guns and killing people. That love affair of guns and killing people, it is with civilians shooting civilians that we see in our community all the time. And it is also extended to the people who are paid by our hard-earned tax dollars to, quote-unquote, protect and serve us. And this is not a shot at those who are the good police officers, because most police officers are great police officers. But do understand that we do have officers, like the one in Green Bay who is under investigation because when he took his oath, he had a tattoo that people thought might be a racist tattoo. And to think for a second there isn't racism within the police force, you would be crazy. I told y'all the story one time where I knew somebody who worked for the Milwaukee. Well, I didn't know them. I knew somebody that worked for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, didn't live anywhere in Milwaukee County, and only experience they had with black people was pulling black people over and going to the most traumatic situations. But with that created what they believe, because that's their experience of what black people are and what Milwaukee is, even though that is the furthest thing from the truth. So you have a lot of individuals that have no business doing anything in your communities because they don't live in your communities and they don't do anything to uplift your communities. They just patrol your communities. And we have these people who don't live within our community who are shooting and killing our folks. Now, Truth Nation, what happened to this woman is not an anomaly. What happened to Renee Nicole Goodman is not an anomaly. It is par for the course. The police in America kill people weekly. They kill people weekly. And Truth Nation, did you know? Or yeah, let me know if you knew this one. Did you know there were only 7 days in the year of 2025, so last year, there were only 7 days last year where the police did not kill somebody. There are 365 days in a year, and there were only 7 days that people did not get shot by the police or get killed by the police. I need y'all to fully understand that Renee Nicole Good and what we saw is not an anomaly. What we saw with George Floyd, what we saw with Walter Scott, what we saw with Eric Gardner, what we saw with Michael Brown, what we saw in Minnesota with Philando Castle happens almost every single day in America. U.S. citizens get wrongly shot and killed frequently in America by the police. That is a fact. Now, Truth Nation, did you know in 2025 that the police shot on average 3 people a day in America? 3 people a day in America. And in 2025, the police killed 1,171 people. Most of these different incidents and run-ins with the police began with traffic stops or mental health crises or disturbances or nonviolent offenses, which led to no crime-related incidents. Now, I know this was a white woman who was killed yesterday, but I bring this up because as a black person, we are 3 times more likely to be killed than white people. So when we talk about the 1,171 people that killed and we talk about the police violence we have to deal with, yes, Renee was a white woman, but black people are 3 times more likely to end up victims of police violence. So I need y'all to understand that we do not need to fall for the lie that this is not normal police behavior, because I would argue, If 1,100 people get killed in a year, that is quite normal behavior. There's only 365 days in a year. If 1,100 people get shot and killed, that is normal behavior. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to bash the police because I have said it before. I think the police serve a good purpose. And if I ever get in trouble, the first thing I'm doing is I'm calling 911. And I need us to understand that every case is individual. Every circumstance is individual, which may have led up to the 1,171 people that got shot and killed by the police in 2025. Some of those incidents may have been justified. The police may have had no decision but to pull the trigger. That is a fact as well. But the people who are supposed to protect and serve us are also shooting and killing us. That's the reality of the situation of America. And when you make the wrong call, there needs to be absolute accountability. What happened in Minneapolis, from my perspective, was not the right call by that ICE agent. I am not a professional, but I saw the video. And I read the standards that they had yesterday, and I know there was not an imminent threat to that man's life. And as I said yesterday, that man was out for blood. That man had murder on his mind. That ICE agent, which for some reason his name is escaping me. Rhea, can you look up the ICE agent's name? Jonathan Ross? All right, now don't have the wrong Jonathan Ross out here feeling. That ICE agent, Jonathan Ross, in my perspective, had murder on his mind. And I say he wrongfully shot this woman because according to Dr. Ken Harris, who was a former police lieutenant here in Milwaukee, he even said that the action of standing in front of the car is not the correct action and not the correct protocol. So he made a mistake. The ICE agent made a mistake in that. And the reason why I believe that man was out for blood is because there is a report that Jonathan Ross, earlier this year, was hit and dragged by a car 30 feet, which is tragic. And let me tell you this right now. If that is true, that tells you what his mindset was right away, and he should never have been out there. He needed to go through therapy, through being traumatized. I couldn't imagine being dragged 30 feet in a car. I'd be mad too and on edge. If you are on edge, you have no business being out in the streets in this high-tense situation. And he was traumatized in that situation, and instead of doing what's right, he shot and killed that lady, which was wrong. Now, there are many people who question, why was she out there? And that was my first thing. What is this lady doing out there blocking the street? Why is she blocking ICE agents? Because for me, y'all can get mad about ICE agents, which we can be disappointed in that, but I also want to get to the bottom of it. Why was she out there? Well, there was new released video yesterday, 4 minutes before ICE agents arrived. The video shows the woman parking and letting someone out of her car. Then after she let that person out her car, what you will see her do is you'll see her do like a turn to be perpendicular in the street as if she was doing a Y turn. It looked like she was doing some type of Y turn, but she never completed it, and she positioned her car perpendicular in the street, blocking off traffic, but still allow for cars to get by the front and the back of her. Now, after being there shortly after ICE got there, things quickly escalated, and we saw the end result of what happened. But again, we don't have all the answers. There's still a lot of questions, but it does shed more light on what happened leading up to it. And I look forward to hearing what happened leading up to it. But my overall bigger point is that we cannot trust the government, to be honest. And all police do not have your best interest. Many and most probably have your best interest and safety in mind. But to think that all police, when they approach a situation in law and ICE agents have your best interest in mind, that would be silly and foolish. They will kill you and make up a story about it. And we know that to be true because we have seen many different times where the police said one thing happened, and then all of a sudden we get a different angle, and all of a sudden we find out something else happened. So Truth Nation, I want y'all to understand is that you can't trust folks that will kill you and make up a story. We know that to be a fact. Do not believe anything other than the fact that the police will kill you. And I'm not saying all police will kill you, but when 1,171 people get killed by the police, we know that you could be at risk. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Men lie, women lie, but numbers do not lie, and I will never say anything with much more confidence and conviction than letting you know that when 1,171 people get killed by the police, and some of it was justified, not all of it was justified, we do know for a fact police will cover up things and lie about things because they're human beings. And what we saw 2 days ago was just another day in America where law enforcement murdered another American. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talking text line. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. When we come back on the other side, Truth Nation, through all this sadness, I think we're forgetting that there's human beings that are involved in hurting this situation on both sides. On the other side, Truth Nation, I'm going to talk about why this is all such a sad situation as we get ready to wrap up Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Presley. My love for animals began when I was 5 years old. That sparked a lifelong commitment to speak up for animals who can't speak for themselves. Elvis and I supported American Humane Society because your compassion can change a life. American Humane Society strengthens the bond between humans and animals. Please visit AmericanHumane.org to learn more. Thank you.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Regroup, rethink, and reshape, and get on the front lines. It's only to your benefit. I always tell people, you helping the overall ideal of a better community, it actually helps you out. It helps you out, it helps your family out. It's time. Do not bring that reactionary attitude into the new year. This is the best time to start fresh. This is the plot. They plot this out, and it's been going on for years. This is normal. This is the way it is. This is where we are right now. It's all buddy-buddy. And if you're not a part of the friend situation, you're not getting in. They don't want nobody getting in and seeing where the messy. That's why I'll never get in. Because they know I'm not going to play around about my community. They know I'm not going to sit in no meetings and see y'all shucking and jiving and sniggling and giggling and not say nothing about it. I'm going to tell you to shut up.
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 1017 The Truth.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
This Associated Bank Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. The 16-21 Milwaukee Bucks are back in action tonight, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers on the road. The Bucks are looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Golden State on Wednesday night. The Milwaukee Panthers play host to Northern Kentucky Norse tonight. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. on 1017 The Truth. In a Big East matchup, the Marquette Golden Eagles take on Villanova at the Pfizer Forum at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. And the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears square off Saturday at Soldier Field. 7 p.m. kickoff in the wild card round. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on what the difference maker will be for the Packers.
Every play is so valuable, so critical. There's no wasted plays. And then I think ultimately what it comes down to is your ability to execute.
This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with a home and auto policy from American Family Insurance. That's because their agents will help make you feel totally protected. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. That is amfam.com. It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace. I was told I need to apologize. Actually, I wasn't told. I said I need to apologize. So I'm going to be apologizing at a certain point. I get riled up.
It's that Gemini, I know.
It's not even that Gemini. I think I'm a nice person overall, but I can be demanding. I tell you, Rhea, you should just be happy you're not in some of the meetings I'm in with other folks.
I've been in a few, and you got an attitude once or twice. Well, it's a Gemini. I'm like, oh, there it is. Get scared.
No, I don't do nonsense. Don't say that, because that's what white people use against black folks when we get upset about stuff. They say, oh, I feared for my safety.
I just saw Zach in there. I said, I feel like, when your parent yells at you and you get a little scared.
Oh, no. Here we go. Now Kyle Walton sending everybody into their weekend. Now I'm the bad guy.
You're not the bad guy.
That happened one time earlier this year where, listen, I asked somebody to do something before, and they didn't do it, and I was just direct, and all of a sudden, here I am. I find myself in the office. Well, somebody told me that you seemed a little upset and aggressive, and it was disrespectful. I said, I ain't say nothing. I don't disrespect nobody.
They said aggressive to you too?
You said what?
They said aggressive to you too?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But, I mean, here's the thing, though. I feel like I've never been disrespectful. I don't think it's disrespectful to be direct. And so I was like, listen, I ain't disrespect nobody. That's one thing I won't do. I won't disrespect nobody, but I will be direct. But anyways, Truth Nation, this is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And I just want y'all to know, at the end of the day, this will be my last day talking about this until more information comes out. Or there's some nonsense that happens and I have to bring it up. But I just want us to understand that this is all very sad. Okay? And this is taking a toll on many people's mental health. See, we as black folks, we've been traumatized before. We have been. Like, we've been traumatized for years, and honestly, this stuff sucks. It does. It really does suck, but I don't know about y'all, but when I see it, I'm like, oh, man, that sucks. Like, that's bad, but I've become immune to it. Like, we see people get murdered all the time. I feel like we've been desensitized since the moment we gotten here to our people being brutalized. The fact that, Emmett Till's mom opened up the casket was just a reminder of what these folks will do to us. The fact that we now get to see things on video and seeing black people get killed is just a reminder of what will happen to us. And so at the end of the day, I've been desensitized to a lot of this stuff, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff on social media where people mental isn't right. But again, when I think about it, hell, whether it's the police killing people or security guards like at the Hyatt Hotel in Milwaukee, people getting killed, this stuff happens all the time. And my mental health ain't shaken by this whatsoever, but now I see other folks in America are feeling pain. They don't know how to cope with this. I've seen people on social media say, I need to take a break. I've seen a lot of people upset, and that is the right thing to do. But one thing we have to understand, Truth Nation, is that this administration is playing with people's emotions and putting a strain on people's mental health and mental well-being. That is what we have to understand, is that when they make these comments and they do all this stuff, you're messing with people's minds. I wish I could cuss, because they ain't messing. It's an F word what they doing with our minds. That's what they doing. And what's crazy about this is you hear about MAHA. Rhea, you know what MAHA stands for?
Make America Healthy Again.
Make America Healthy Again, which I'm all for. I'm happy about some of the things that are happening. But health isn't just what you put into your body. Health is also the information that you consume and that you take in, the trauma you have to deal with as well. And when you're constantly putting negativity out there and you're trying to divide people, that wears on people's mental health and their mental well-being. So you can't sit up here and talk about Make America Healthy Again when somebody gets shot and you immediately call them a damn domestic terrorist. You immediately go and you traumatize people by shooting them with pepper spray guns. This is traumatizing. And this is why so many folks from the military have PTSD, because of the things which they have saw or they have heard at war. Truth Nation, a woman got killed and we all saw it. The world was able to see it, and it's sickening and it's damaging and it's traumatizing. And it's not good for us to consume. It's not good for the American well-being and mental health. this whole story and the state of our country is just sad. It is absolutely sad. Because Truth Nation, it doesn't have to be like this. That is the thing that irks my nerves. Yeah, Joe Biden was in office, and you didn't have to like Joe Biden, but if Joe Biden hurt your mental well-being, well, then I'm trying to figure that out. Because I don't know how somebody's shuffling his feet and forgetting different things. How does that help your mental well-being? If anything, you get annoyed, like, oh my gosh, how do we vote for this guy? Get him out of office. But you ain't seeing people getting shot in the streets and people not sending condolences or being humanizing the situation. And for me, it's so sad because what gets lost in all this is that the fact that ICE agents don't need to be causing all this chaos like this. And the administration, which seems to find ways to provoke Americans on a daily basis, seem to be okay with this. And I repeat, what gets lost in all this is the fact that everyone involved is a human being and has a family. Ria was just telling me about Jonathan Ross, who is the ICE agent, and how he's married. She said some other things that we don't need to repeat because don't matter. But he's a married man. He has a family. We must understand and get through our mind that these ICE agents have families, and the families want them to come home, and they want to come home. And when you ratchet up the rhetoric the way that you see, and you ratchet up all the lying, like Secretary of Homeland Defense or Secretary of Homeland, Department of Homeland Security, excuse me. I'll get it right. Kristi Noem and VP Vance and President Trump and his administration, what they are doing is incredibly irresponsible. You are putting these ICE agents in harm's way. You are making life for ICE agents even worse. You are putting a target on their back, an unnecessary target on their back that they do not deserve. You may disagree with their line of work, but they do not deserve to go to work and to be harassed. They don't deserve to go to work and have to be fearing for their lives. That is not fair to them, and that's not fair to their families. I mentioned it yesterday how the Department of Homeland Security was claiming that there was 1,300% increase in assaults on agents. Well, again, they need to look in the mirror to figure out why that is happening. What is it that you're doing to make these ICE agents' jobs more risky? We need to simmer down this tension that we have in America. We need to get to a point where these folks can do their job without constant protest, without people getting in the way. We need to make sure that these people get what they deserve, which is a safe working environment like everyone else, but their leadership refuses to give them that. That falls on leadership. Instead, their leadership would like to play games and like to tick people off even more by pointing the finger without having a done investigation. And on the flip side, American citizens need to feel safe going to work. American citizens need to feel safe just driving their car, going to the grocery store, doing their day-to-day routine without the risk of being harassed, traumatized, or even at the worst, killed. Yesterday was a tragedy, and a lot of folks dropped the ball. 2 days ago, this woman was killed because of a decision that she did make. It cost her life. And I am not saying that it is her fault whatsoever, but what I am saying is that her reacting in fear, because I'm telling you this right now, she was reacting out of fear. She had multiple commands, didn't know who to listen to, and she was reacting out of fear, and now she is becoming a victim at the hands of our United States government. And the end result is the end result, and it's sad. The ICE agent who killed the woman has to live with the fact that he knows deep down in his heart that he was not at imminent threat of danger, that his life wasn't about to be taken by getting hit by a car. He had an alternative other than using deadly force, and he chose not to use it. He pulled the trigger and killed someone, and forever he will be a killer. 833-212-1017. People's decisions are tearing this country apart. Alan, Milwaukee, what are your thoughts here on today's conversation?
Well, my thoughts is all ICE agents will always be the enemy of the United States because you're going against your own. And the real problem that you white Republicans will never say out loud is that these racist white men is the number one problem in the United States. That's your problem, but you get that from your mammy and your pappy and the people who voted for you. Y'all mediocre. And you're mad somebody's going to take some. Think about this, Kyle. How can you be white and have privilege and you still got a problem? You're white.
You're
supposed to be superior. And you still got a problem.
That's my one thing is I talked about it a couple weeks ago, Al, is that
that's mental health.
Is that white men are becoming a victim, which is crazy to me. I mean, as a white man, literally, as a white man, all you got to do is you go clean up, go get a haircut. Literally, if a white man spends $500 on their appearance and their look, well, $1,000, they are going to be able to walk through here as if they own the damn place.
And they're still mediocre.
Ain't that the truth? Thank you, Al. I'm telling you, you can go get a white man off the streets that is homeless. You take him to a stylist. You get him some clothes. You clean him up a little. We seen them videos. You clean him up a little bit, put a suit on that man. He can walk through the market hall, and someone will believe he is somebody that matters. He is somebody that matters in this world, but believes that he is a decision maker when he was just on the street all of 10 hours ago. That is the power of being a white man in America. 833-212-1017. On the other side, Truth Nation, I want to wrap up thinking about the fact that I am a proud American, and I want us to ponder, what would you have done in this situation? What would you have done? Because at the end of the day, people's decisions tearing this country apart, tearing the city of Minneapolis apart. Kids in Minneapolis are out of school yesterday and today. Protests have erupted across this country. And I want y'all to know that this ain't worth it. It's not. But what would you do if you were in this situation? I'm going to let y'all know what I'm going to do, what I would have did in this situation, and I'm going to share a story at the end of the show. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. We'll be back in 3.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers return home to host conference foe, the North Kentucky Norse.
Draws a double, kick out to the wing. Aguilar contested 3, and he buries it. The Panthers are down by 3. D'Lo reattacking in the paint, fades, fires, drops it in. The Panthers have pulled within 6.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 7:30 on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 8 o'clock.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
If a tow truck appears on the scene minutes after your auto accident, think twice before handing them your keys. You may be the target of a common towing scam, which results in being billed several $1,000s. Don't allow any unsolicited tow operators to take your car from the scene. Consult with police or your insurance provider to contact a reputable company. Agree on the rate. And know where they are taking your vehicle. If you suspect insurance fraud, call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Truth Nation, if your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, y'all know what to do. You make one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, and they will take care of you. It may be a new year, but it ain't nothing changed with Gruber Law Offices. They will stand up for you, and they will do what is right. They will work for you and make sure you can focus on healing while they focus on winning your case. And always remember, you never pay a single penny until they win your case. So get with the winning team today by visiting gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com, or making one call, that's all, at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. It's one call, that's all, with Gruber Law Offices. Make sure y'all watching stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. You can give us a like. You can give us a share, and you can give us a subscribe as well. Now, Truth Nation, I do want to wrap up the show because I do have my final thoughts, and I want to get to this video. In Truth Nation, I was saying before that I hope that ICE never comes to Milwaukee, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know Mayor Cavalier Johnson says we need to be ready and we need to be prepared, but in a moment of honesty and transparency, I know thyself. I'm not a mean, ill-willed individual, but I'm somebody that commands and demands respect because I will give it back to you. And I don't want anybody approaching me or accusing me of any wrongdoing that is unjust and undeserved, because I know how I act when I feel falsely accused or mistreated by anybody. Remember, I treat people with respect, and I expect the exact same thing in return. And as a proud, upstanding American citizen, we should be offended when anybody intrudes on our American freedoms and liberties. No one has the right to wrongfully harass us, and no one has the right to traumatize you. I want to leave y'all this segment with a video from a naturalized American citizen, a black man who loves America and prides himself on living the right way. He found out, despite all the right choices he has made, if you still fit the description, you will still be subjected to racial profiling. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube or turn up the radio for the WCCO CBS Minnesota news story about a black man who was racially profiled in the country that he made his own.
Who are here legally are getting swept up in the crackdown. New at 10, this U.S. citizen claims ICE agents left him hurt and hospitalized. That man, who was born in Liberia, calls it a rude awakening.
America is the place of dream, equal opportunity, equal right, dreams, based on how I got treated yesterday.
Ubali spoke to that man and shows us the video of the controversial confrontation.
Cell phone video shows the encounter between Emmanuel Saki and federal agents outside Family Dollar in Brooklyn Park.
Started saying, oh, whose car is this? This car is coming to register as somebody named Joseph. I'm like, no, this car is registered in my fiance's name.
Man, can I got my driver's license? You say
Saki, a Liberian-born, naturalized U.S. citizen, says he showed the agents his driver's license, his name, his photo, proof of who he is.
Asked me, can you give more proof that you are a citizen? I told him I don't have the proof on me right now.
That's when he says the situation escalated. And a struggle ensued, with Saki in handcuffs before being put in a federal vehicle.
I'm a legal citizen, and this is my first time being handcuffed in my whole life.
He says he was taken to an unknown location before being let go. He says he was badly bruised and went to the hospital.
I've been treated like an animal and already hurt me.
He says he immigrated legally to the United States for a better life and to reunite with family.
I tell America it's the place of dream, equal opportunity, equal right, dreams, based on how I got treated yesterday.
For Saki, he says his oath of citizenship and this certificate didn't protect him.
I feel like this ain't no dream in America.
Uba Ali, WCCO News.
They asked this man, because he had an accent and because of the way he looked, they asked him for proof of citizenship. I don't know about y'all, but I don't carry my passport, nor do I carry my birth certificate on my person every day. And to tell somebody who is an American citizen, to tell them that, hey, you need to carry proof of citizenship every single day is a slap in the face. He worked his ass off to do exactly what you asked him to do. And when he told you he's a citizen, you said we need proof? He gave you an ID, we need proof. Well, what are you supposed to do? You have your damn passport with you all the time? Do you have your birth certificate all the dang time? I wish somebody would. I'm going to ask them, well, if you present your birth certificate, I'll get mine. Hell out my face with all that. A legal citizen in his first time ever being in handcuffs for simply just being a damn immigrant who is a U.S. citizen. Naturalized U.S. citizen. He worked his butt off to become a U.S. citizen. He said he came here for the American dream and this is how he get treated. And some of y'all think that's okay. Some of y'all okay with black men like that. That man was in tears. You can tell how much he cared about being an American citizen. You can tell how much he cared about doing it the right way. But he still was racially profiled and he was traumatized. He was treated like an animal, he said. This man had to face the realization that regardless of what you do, you will always be seen as less than in the eyes of many Americans. Truth Nation, that was a shot to that man's ego and a shot to his soul. It was so heartbreaking seeing him cry like that. This has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. And I'll end with this, Truth Nation, is make sure y'all stay safe out here. Make sure y'all stay vigilant. And make sure y'all fight and stand up for what you believe in. For what you believe in. Don't do nothing based off what others tell you to do. Do what you believe. And also, before I go, I almost done forgot. There is a basketball game tonight. The Milwaukee Panthers take on, I think, Purdue Fort Wayne tonight. Looking for my sheet. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. Oh, no, they take on, here it is. They take on Northern Kentucky at the UWM Panthers Arenas. Tip-off is set for 6, coverage starts at 6:30. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. Boy, I messed that up, but I felt like I had some good shows this week. Truth Nation, thank y'all so much. Happy to be back this week. I love y'all so much. Y'all have a beautiful and safe weekend. Go, Pack, go. The Tory Lowe Show is up next with Wonderful. Peace out. Love y'all, Truth Nation. See you Monday.
Soul. I say Pastors holler, and I don't funky soul. When I say Gemini, and I that funky soul. When I say Capricorn, and I don't funky soul.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is.